Welcome back. All right, let's just jump right in. The world of AI, right now in August 2025, it's a mess, isn't it? It's chaotic, but it's also unbelievably exciting. So what we're going to do is cut through all that noise and give you a really clear snapshot of who's winning, where they're winning, and most importantly, why any of it matters to you. And we have to start right here. This quote gets to the heart of the tension that's defining this entire moment. AI is completely rewiring how we find information online. We are seeing more than ever, but we're clicking less. This one fact is the domino that's knocking everything else over. And there's actually a name for this, the Great Decoupling. See, because AI is just answering our questions right on the search page, the old playbook of just chasing clicks, yeah, that's done. The new game is all about knowing which specialized AI tool you need for the job, because Google is no longer the final stop on the journey. So let's really dig into this whole Great Decoupling idea for a second. Understanding this is absolutely key because it's the why behind literally everything else we're about to talk about. It explains why the entire AI world has shattered into all these different, powerful little pieces.
What this really means is that the dream of one single AI king, one tool that does everything better than everyone else, that's officially over. It's gone. The market has fragmented into all these little specialized kingdoms, and each one has its own champion fighting for the throne.
Okay, so if everything's fragmented, where are the biggest fights happening? Well, the first major battleground is what I'm calling the battle of the AI brains. These are the huge general-purpose language models, and they're all competing to be the smartest in the room when it comes to raw reasoning and problem-solving.
And what's so fascinating here is the jump from GPT-4 to the new GPT-5. Just look at the architecture. It's not one giant model anymore. It's a hybrid system, a collection of smaller, expert models with a router that intelligently picks the right one for your specific task. And it's natively multimodal. Think of it like a kid who learned to see and read at the exact same time. It just understands the world on a deeper level because pictures and words have always been part of its vocabulary.
But GPT-5 isn't fighting in a vacuum. Its biggest rival is Anthropic's Claude 4, and they have totally different personalities. Think of it this way. GPT-5 is your fast and furious prototyper. You need a working app demo by tomorrow? GPT-5 will get you there. But Claude 4? Oh, Claude 4 is like your calm, seasoned senior engineer. For those really thorny, complex coding problems, like untangling a massive legacy system, Claude's deep, methodical approach makes it the pro's choice.
And that brings us to Claude's killer feature, 1 million tokens. That is a huge context window. You can basically feed it a novel, a massive scientific study, or an entire code base, and it can reason across the whole thing without losing its train of thought. For deep analysis, this is an absolute game changer.
Of course, it's not just a two-horse race. You've got Google's Gemini 2.5, which is a monster contender, especially with its deep think mode for coding and the fact that it's woven into the entire Google ecosystem. And then you have Grok 4 from XAI. It's putting up some seriously impressive scores in math and coding, but it's also been surrounded by a lot of debate over its content safety guardrails.
But logic and code are only half the picture. The creative space, that's where things get wild. We are in the middle of a full-blown revolution in how we create and edit images, designs, you name it.
This quote from some random person on Reddit just perfectly captures the vibe right now. Now look, is Photoshop literally done? Probably not. But does it feel that way to a lot of people? Absolutely. The ground is shifting so fast under the feet of creative pros that it feels like entire dynasties of software are about to crumble.
And you can see this playing out in the fight between the two giants here, Adobe and Canva. Adobe is going all in on the professionals. Its Firefly AI is baked right into the Creative Cloud, and its secret weapon is something called C2PA Content Credentials. Think of it as a secure, built-in made-by label that proves where an image came from. It's built for commercial safety. Canva, on the other hand, is all about making this power accessible to everyone with its super intuitive Magic Studio tools. Now, when it comes to just making an image from scratch, it's all about picking your weapon. If you're in a chat with ChatGPT and need text to appear correctly inside an image, OpenAI's model is your best bet. But if you need a perfect logo or a poster with flawless artistic typography, Ideogram 3.0 is the undisputed king. And for anyone who loves to get under the hood and tinker, the open-source Stable Diffusion 3.5 is your ultimate playground. And here we go again, another comment that just hits the nail on the head. It's that nervous laugh, right? That feeling of, wow, this is incredible, mixed with, uh-oh, What does this mean for my job? It perfectly captures that blend of excitement and terror that everyone's feeling.
All right, we've looked at the battlegrounds, we've met the fighters, so let's cut to the chase. Let's put it all together and figure out who is actually on top right now. It's time for the scorecard.
So let's just answer the question. With all this chaos, who should you be paying attention to? Based on everything we're seeing, here are the current winners for each specific job you need to get done. And here you have it. The big takeaway here isn't that there's one winner, it's that you need a whole team of champions. You see the pattern, right? GPT-5 is your best all-around player for general day-to-day use. But the second you have a high-stakes, specialized task, like analyzing a huge document or creating a flawless logo, you switch to a specialist like Claude or Ideogram. It's about using the right tool for the job.
And let's just double-click on Adobe's win here for a second, because it shows you what big businesses really care about. It's not just about how cool the image looks, it's about trust. It's about legal safety. Those C2PA content credentials that Adobe embeds in the file, that's verifiable proof of where an image came from. For an enterprise, that is not a nice-to-have. It is a must-have.
Okay, so knowing who's winning is the what. But what about the so what? How do you actually put all this into practice? Well, that brings us to our final and maybe most important section, building your new AI playbook. And the entire playbook really boils down to this one simple mental shift. The winning strategy isn't about AI replacing humans. It's about finding the perfect partnership, using our uniquely human strategy and creativity to steer the incredible power and efficiency of AI.
And that partnership, well, it kind of looks like this. A 70-30 split. The research is showing that 70% of the value in any project still comes from human strategy, big ideas, and creative direction. The other 30% is where AI becomes a superhuman assistant, in execution, in research, in optimization. It's a little ironic, isn't it? The better AI gets at the grunt work, the more valuable our human creativity becomes.
So we end here. The game is no longer about searching for that one perfect tool to rule them all. It's about becoming a master builder, carefully choosing the best-in-class tools for each part of your process and assembling your own powerful custom toolkit. So the only real question left is, what are you going to build?